You can park, but you cannot sleep in your vehicle overnight. It is considered camping.
So as long as I don't go to sleep, I'm good.
It's not about whether you sleep.
Well, that's kind of what you said, is if I sleep in my vehicle.
Well, I said camping. I didn't say sleep.
Welcome back to the LackLuster channel. Today's story features Paul Barger, YouTube's very own bread trucker. Paul has been living the van life for years, after taking a bread truck and converting it into a tiny house on wheels. Over the years that he's been on YouTube, he's documented not only his travels, but multiple instances where he's been harassed, sometimes even being ticketed, and other times being seemingly unlawfully searched by law enforcement. During this encounter, Paul had stopped at a convenience store in Sedro-Woolley, Washington. After purchasing a few essentials including ice cream, he returned to his vehicle and began eating, and not long after, he was approached by two uniformed officers of the Sedro-Woolley Police Department.
Police department.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you for a sec?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Nothing. What's
Hanging
up?
out here. Are you a customer?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds like you've been here for a little while, right? 30 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. So employees were locking up and stuff like that. Weren't sure why you're here so long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can't stay here overnight or anything like that.
Nope.
Right?
I got an ice cream inside,
Okay.
and I was eating ice cream.
Okay.
It just seemed a bit excessive, but yeah.
All right. So they're closing up, so they're going to need you to move along. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. I mean, what, how long, like, I just don't understand.
it's their business, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they're locking up, and they're just asking you that, you move along.
Oh, so they're asking me to leave now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul was parked on private property, and though he was a paying patron to the establishment that he was parked in front of, the business was within their rights to ask Paul to leave.
That seems odd.
They called us because it was just suspicious that you were still here, so they usually don't have people loiter in their parking lot, so.
Lloyd, okay. All right.
So just so you understand, in the city of Cedar-Woolley,
Yeah.
the only places you can park overnight for camping or something like that are going to be at the Bingham Park and Riverfront Park.
Yeah.
So.
The officers now inform Paul that the only place he can legally park and sleep is at Bingham Park and Riverfront Park, both of which happen to be RV parks owned by the city and charge between $35 and $50 per night. It's important to note that after this interaction, Paul traveled to both of these locations, one of which was completely shut down, and the other was at full capacity and was closed for the night.
All right. Do you have a destination in mind, or?
I don't know what's to share.
That's fine.
Sorry.
Okay, but
Yeah.
if I see you parked anywhere else in town other than a designated camp spot, you can get cited for it. So.
Okay.
Makes
So
sense.
I'm unclear as to just like if you park in the city, you cannot park in the city.
As Paul points out in his own video,
Say you have a long day of driving and you want to pull over, catch a little power nap, recharge your batteries, and get back on the road. It is illegal to do so in this town.
in 2017, the Sedro-Woolley City Council voted to add a new section to the Sedro-Woolley Municipal Code, making it unlawful to occupy any recreational vehicle for residence purposes, unless you pay the city to use one of their established RV parks, or if you're on private property with written authorization from the property owner for a maximum of 30 days.
Okay, but so what's the time frame? Like, you're tired on the road, you pull over and you want to take a nap.
Okay.
So
right.
you can't do that in this town.
Well, if this is private property, so.
I gotcha. But if I was parked on the street, there's street parking all over.
True.
I don't see any issue with that.
But if you're sleeping in your vehicle overnight, right, it doesn't say how long, and you're not in a designated camping area, we can ask you to move along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just wondering about the time frame because
it's not designated as the time frame, right? If you're sleeping in your vehicle, it's considered camping in the city. There are 2 designated places to sleep if you're camping: Riverfront Park, and
right.
Bingham Park.
Yeah, I'm just talking about being in my vehicle.
Okay.
I mean, I could stay in my vehicle all night long and not be sleeping.
Okay. That's kind of up for debate, right?
Sure, yeah. I mean, you don't know what I'm doing in here. This is my home.
Yeah,
this is where I live.
And that's what I see, that it is your home, right? And so, like I said,
so as long as I don't go to sleep, I'm good.
it's not about whether you sleep.
Well, that's kind of what you said, is if I sleep in my vehicle.
Well, I said camping. I didn't say sleep.
The officer definitely said sleeping.
You can park, but you cannot sleep in your vehicle overnight. It is considered camping.
Unfortunately, his new terminology is in fact more aligned with the code.
Okay. It seemed like you said sleeping before if I sleep in the vehicle, but
I said camping. You're camping in the city, right?
Yeah.
Is allowed in 2 designated areas, like I already mentioned a couple of times.
So you can't sit in your vehicle in this town.
For a temporary period of time, it's fine. But this one is private property, so they just want you to move along.
I got that, but I'm just saying you're warning me that if I go anywhere in this city,
Like I said,
I'll be asked to move
We got a
along.
lot of issues with transient people.
I got
in their
you.
vehicle, so
But
that's what I'm
does this
saying.
seem like a transient situation to you? Do I seem like I'm on
I've never been
drugs,
here
or
before, so I
do
don't
I feel? I know, but you deal with people all day, and you can see that I'm not intoxicated. There's no issue here. I've been doing this for a long time. I live here. This is a fully functional house back here.
Cool.
I'm unclear as to what the rule is, because I need to return an auto part in the morning.
Okay.
So, and that's in this town right around the
Great.
corner.
You can go outside the city and you'll be fine, or you can stay in one of our designated camp.
I was planning on parking on the street.
Okay, which is not going to be allowed, and you're going to be asked to move along.
I don't understand. What is the time frame that denotes not being allowed to park on the street? I have a lot of work to do tonight.
Great.
I have to.
And I've been pretty clear. You can look up the municipal code if you'd like. You can Google it. Cedarville Municipal Code, right? So I'm just advising you that if you sleep elsewhere in town and it's not one of the 2 designated camp areas, you'll probably see us again. So okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
Yep. Have a good one.
As Paul traveled to the riverfront and Bingham RV Park, the officers tailed him through the city to ensure that if he were to stop his vehicle, close his eyes for a minute, have a snack, or work on editing one of his videos, that he would be forced to pay the city either through using their approved RV parks or through a citation. Washington State happens to be in the 9th Circuit, and in the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals case, Desert Train versus City of Los Angeles, the court found that a code that prohibited the use of a vehicle as living quarters either overnight, day by day, or otherwise was unconstitutionally vague on its face because it provided insufficient notice of the conduct it penalizes and promotes arbitrary and discriminatory enforcement. It was ruled unconstitutionally vague because the statute did not define living quarters, similar to the Sedgwick-Woolley Code, which leaves you guessing as to what behaviors would subject you to a citation and arrest by an officer. Is it impermissible to eat food in a vehicle? Is it illegal to keep a sleeping bag, canned food, books? What about speaking on a cell phone or sitting in a car to stay out of the rain? These are all actions that the plaintiffs in Desert Trains versus Los Angeles were taking when arrested for violation of the ordinance, all of which are otherwise perfectly legal. And considering that Sedgwick-Woolley is in the 9th Circuit, this case law would certainly apply. And the interesting thing is, the court's opinion was written 3 years prior to the code being voted in. Let me know what you guys think down below. Should a government entity be allowed to tell you in which way you occupy your vehicle when parked safely and legally on a public road? A big thanks to Paul for helping me with this video and for allowing me to use it. His links will be down below. Be sure to head over there and let him know I sent you. Thanks for watching. If you have a video, use the submit link in the description or pinned comment. If you enjoyed this one, subscribe and hit the bell for future content, and check out our other channels, Lady LackLuster and The Odd Side. Remember to like, share, and leave a comment about what you think of this interaction. It's the easiest way for you to help expose corruption and misconduct. Merchandise is available using the links below. Join the LackLuster family for just $1 if you'd like to further support the channel. Get a Lack logo next to your name, custom emotes, and early access to videos. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. All links are down below.